No visit to Egypt is complete without seeing the pyramids and the Sphinx. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the last remaining of the 7 wonders of the world. The pyramids are often recognized around the world as a symbol of Egypt and its ancient civilization. They were built in the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom of ancient Egypt over 4,500 years ago. When we arrived at the pyramid complex, our guide, Hanan, took us to a shady, uncrowded spot near the Valley Temple of Khafra, with amazing views of the Sphinx and pyramids, to tell us about the history and construction of the pyramids. The oldest and tallest pyramid was built by Khufu. His son Khafra built the 2nd tallest pyramid, and his son Menkaure built the 3rd pyramid. Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure are sometimes referred to by the names given to them by the ancient Greeks: Cheops, Khephren, and Mykerinos. We walked into the Valley Temple of Khafra, the site where the body of the king was prepared for burial. The mummification process took place here, and rituals were held for the dead king to receive the gods. From this location, we could see many of the mastabas, or flat tombs, that were burial tombs for important advisors and nobles. There is no mortar or concrete used in the construction of the pyramids or tombs. Each piece of stone is cut with unbelievable precision to fit perfectly in its place. Immediately outside of the Valley Temple, we approached the Sphinx. The Sphinx has the head of a pharaoh, the body of a lion, and is believed by most experts to be built by Khafra. The face of the Sphinx is believed to bear the likeness of this pharaoh. It was originally carved out of one single piece of bedrock, but has since been restored by limestone blocks. Over time, pieces of the Sphinx had fallen off or been destroyed. Originally, there was a cobra on the crown and a pharaonic beard. The nose was chiseled off in the 15th century by a Sufi Muslim who was opposed to idolatry. The highlight during our visit to the Giza Pyramid Complex was the camel ride. Since my first visit to the pyramids over 25 years ago, the entire pyramid going has become much more organized, especially the camel riding. We booked in advance with a cameleer that Hanan works with. Riding camels is more comfortable than riding a horse. When the camel stands up and sits down, you need to hold on tight or you might just fall off. We rode the camels to a small hill on the south side of the pyramid complex where we had the entire place to ourselves. After looking at the photos, I believe that this is the spot where most of the professional photos are taken. The cameleer was so jovial and enthusiastic about taking photos of our family. I tried to stop him at the beginning, but he told us that photography was his passion. I'm so glad I didn't stop him because the photos that he took really captured the experience. He insisted that each of us had to pose in many different ways, and he patiently captured it all on camera. The greatest mystery of the pyramids concerns how they were constructed. Experts continue to debate how exactly the massive stones used to build the pyramids were dragged to location and lifted into place. An older theory that the pyramids were built by slaves has been displaced by the theory that the pyramids were built by paid, largely skilled laborers who basically ate like kings. When they were built, the pyramids were covered with an outer layer of polished white limestone that would appear to be illuminated in the desert. They probably would have also had a capstone, a cap on the very tip of the pyramid, made of precious metals like gold and silver that would have created an even more beautiful sight. Originally, the cameleer was on horseback while we were on camels. Ran mentioned that he wanted to ride a horse, and without hesitation, the cameleer gave his horse to Ran while he continued on foot. We rode the camels down to the base of the pyramids where we could admire them up close and get a sense of how humongous and towering they really are. The weather was temperate, and it was by no means considered hot by Egyptian standards. In early November, it was only around 30 degrees Celsius, but without shelter for too long from the heat of the sun, it felt hot enough. Although we were keen to, Hanan advised us not to buy a separate ticket to go inside the pyramids. Entry into each pyramid requires the purchase of another ticket, and the insides of the pyramids are cramped and plain. She advised us instead to visit Saqqara for two reasons. First, built around 200 years earlier than the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Djoser Pyramid in Saqqara was the predecessor to and the inspiration for the pyramids of Giza. Second, the walls of the tombs in Saqqara are adorned with vivid images and hieroglyphics, more interesting than inside the Great Pyramid, and entry into the tombs is included in the general ticket price. In Saqqara, we entered the pyramid of King Teti, the first pharaoh of the 6th dynasty of ancient Egypt, dating back to 2345 BC. Originally, the tomb was a step pyramid encased in limestone, but all that remains today is a mound of earth. The entryway into the pyramid is a steep and narrow path down. It's necessary for adults to hunch over because the space is so small. Inside the funerary chamber, there's a peaked roof with high ceilings and walls adorned with beautiful hieroglyphic inscriptions. The ceiling is covered in stars. The most memorable of the mastabas was the tomb of Khagemni, dating back to the 6th dynasty. Khagemni was an important advisor to the pharaoh Teti. The tomb contains detailed reliefs of daily life, fishing, and hunting scenes, and is known for its paintings of wildlife. In the golden light of dusk, we approached the Pyramid of Djoser. We walked through the entrance that had remains of columns designed to resemble bundles of reeds that would have been a towering 6 meters tall. This led to the pyramid itself. The pyramid, built around 2760 BC, was designed for Djoser by his vizier Imhotep. It is the first pyramid of its kind in ancient Egypt. The Pyramid of Djoser was the inspiration for future pyramids, including the pyramids of Giza. The pyramid design that was perfected in Giza was not divine inspiration. Rather, it was a step-by-step process that began with the Pyramid of Djoser. We ended our visit basking under the same warm rays and with the same feeling of awe and amazement that the ancient Egyptians must have felt thousands of years ago while gazing upon the Djoser Pyramid. Even today, the pyramids continue to be a revolutionary idea, an architectural marvel, and a feat of human engineering that speaks to the unlimited potential of human creativity and power of the will.